Welcome, YouTube. This is Dominic with Breakthrough Sessions. Diving right in today, and the topic is how to get your act together. Whew, man, I mean, I keep thinking to myself like every day, uh, can I be better? And I think that's really the question that I often ask when I start talking about how to get my act together, like how to get everything in place so that I'm doing my best. Some like to be good. Some like to say I'm doing good. What are you going to do to be great? Like what are you trying to do to step it up a level in your life? How to get your act together, man, it's real simple. It's just you have to be willing to get up each and every day asking yourself, are you giving it your best? Are you getting away from those things that don't add value to your life? So we're challenged every day. And the first step to getting your act together is acknowledging that you have a problem. In many cases, when you avoid the reality of things in your life, when you set things aside in your life and you try to act as if they're not existing, it's non-existence, it's not a big deal, you could get overwhelmed, and you can really be painting a fairy tale story. And how I think how you get better, how do you get better in your life? You have to recognize the things that are trying to hold you back. So, getting your act together, that when first step comes when you decide, I need to acknowledge that this is an area of my life that I need to do something about. Like you need to get really serious. And then the second step comes into play when you start making the effort. See, some of us talk a very good game, but when you're getting your act together, that means is that you need to be working on something and you need to get really serious about it. Like you need to get to the point to where your energy level on a scale of 10 is on 11. Like you need to get honest, get serious about what you're doing, and you need to fight for it. You need to fight to change your way. Getting your act together is all about stepping it up, doing things differently than what you have done in the past, recognizing that you will not be willing to allow yourself to be less than where you are today, tomorrow. It is essential for us to understand this. It's really tough in our lives when we fail to recognize the things that we need to do to get better, when we don't even show a ounce of, I get an ounce of care. Like don't you care about where you're going in your life? Don't you see that whatever it is that you're doing has created something in you that has allowed you to kind of not get to where you want to go? It's no one else's fault. You can blame everybody else that you want to, but when you're working on getting your act together, you have to acknowledge that I can get better. Then you have to say, I'm making the effort. And then the third and final thing that you must do when you're getting your act together is be willing to get someone in your life and ask for help. See, how to get your act together doesn't happen when you're running a lone ranger, when you're out there going around trying to do it all on your own. You tried that. That didn't work for you. And the reason why it doesn't work sometimes because we're so set in our own ways that we can get lost and misguided at times in our lives. And when it gets serious and the pressure's on, and you have to find a way to survive, it's hard for a person to survive that's trying to get their act together when they haven't made the best choices in the past, when they've continued to not acknowledge what they have not yet done, and they're just getting up every day painting a fairy tale story about I think I'm doing better. You're not. So if you want to get your act together, it's important that you get up every day saying, I know that I can do better. And then once I know that I can do better, that first step is knowing. The second step is for me to put all my heart and effort into making everything happen for me to get better. And the third step, it's really really important. It's that you get someone around you that can hold you accountable because you obviously have not been able to do that in your life. And what do you have to lose? You've seen the way that things have happened for you. It's not saying anything against you, but what it's saying is that you need someone to kick you in the direction where you need to go. You cannot be afraid to ask someone for help. You have not been good at navigating it on your own. So if you see this direction that you're going in and you can't correct it for yourself and you really want to get your act together, handle it. People are there for you. Don't be afraid to call on someone. Don't be afraid to meet someone new to try to see if they can help you navigate through the toughest times in your life. But this life is short. I'm reminded of that all the time. And maybe it's because of my own personal life being almost cut short. Maybe it's because I get the senses that people don't take it seriously, that you might not be here tomorrow. Life is too short. And you have to start to weed out the bad things that you're doing in your life at some point in time and grow up. You have to start to take responsibility for where you are and where you're going. And people are there to help you navigate through those times. So it can't get any worse than it is. But if you can acknowledge to yourself and be honest that your life can be better, you can be doing better, I can be doing better. See, I'm at a point in time in my life where yeah, it's good, but I can always be doing better. And maybe there are minor things that I have to focus on to get my act together for me. But for some of us, we have a lot of work to do, and you have to get serious about that work. You have to be willing to say, I know I can get better. I'm willing to put every ounce of my effort into getting better. And I'm going to call on someone. I'm going to search out someone who I can embed within my mind, who I can learn from, who can teach me some new knowledge, some new principles, some new philosophies, so that I can get my act together, so that I can stop doing drugs, so that I can stop drinking, so that I can stop being in these crazy relationships where there's violence, domestic violence, disputes, and things like that, where I can stop harming myself, where I can stop thinking about harming other people, where I can stop thinking about hurting someone else because I don't feel a certain way. You have to get your act together in this life because it is not long. It can be cut short any day. It can be taken away from you any day. And so getting your act together is important. It's one of the most, I mean, it's one of the most just it's one of the most pivotal things that you could do for yourself in your life right now. It's got to be the most important, is getting your act together. And until you make the effort, until you understand all the things that you will have the capabilities to do, maybe it won't be important to you. Maybe you won't stop doing the things that you know aren't right. Maybe you won't stop being a part of a crew that's hurting, stealing, selling drugs. Maybe you won't get out of that relationship that's full of violence, physically, mentally, verbally. Maybe you won't get that new job. where someone who doesn't know how to appreciate your skills, your knowledge, your potential, maybe you won't change your life because you want to stick around and be friends with everyone and you want to have everyone like you and pretend to be someone that you're not. But in this year, it's really important, I feel, to get your act together. This is Breakthrough Sessions. I'm Dominic. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. If you're live right now, if you rewatch this at some point in time, the only thing I would say is this: you deserve every day, but you have to be willing to work for it. And whatever you get out of life is because you've actually put every ounce of your energy and your efforts into making it happen for you. There is nothing you can't overcome. There is nothing that you should be fearful of. Because if today is your last day, what do you have to lose anyway? And why shouldn't you wake up every day thinking that way? Get your act together. Have a good one.